friends, thanks for joining us today. I'm Jessie.
And I'm Jack. We've got some great stuff planned for you all today.
That's right. So clear a space and get ready to jam out to one of my favorite worship songs. Let's go.
Darkness run and hide, you bring the broken back to life. Only you can, only you can. You set me free from every chain, you fill my heart with songs of praise. Only you can, only you can. Jesus, you're the only reason that I'm even breathing. I am wide awake. My heart beats only for your glory. My hands reach up for you to hold me. My soul sings, Father, you are holy. My feet dance to your rhythm, to your rhythm. Every beat is calling out your name. You left the glory of your throne to bring this runaway back home. Only you can, only you can. You give me love, you give me life, you keep me dancing through the night. Only you can, only you can. My heart beats only for your glory. My hands reach up for you to hold me. My soul sings, Father, you are holy. My feet dance to your rhythm, to your rhythm. Every beat is calling out your name. Every beat is calling out your name. Jesus, you're the only reason that I'm even breathing. I am wide awake. You move me, your freedom is consuming. I feel you rushing through me. I'll never be the same. My heart beats only for your glory. My hands reach up for you to hold me. My soul sings, Father, you are holy. My feet dance to your rhythm, to your rhythm. Every beat is calling out your name. Every beat is calling out your name. Every beat is calling out your name.
That was epic. You guys crushed that song.
Do you guys have enough left for 2 more songs? I think you do.
Let's do this.
Come on, let's turn it up. We're gonna sing it out for all the world to hear. Oh, oh, oh. There's love for everyone. A new day has begun. Something to shout about. Let it be known that our God saves, our God reigns. We lift you up, up. Let it be known that love has come, love has won. We lift you up, 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 Nothing can stop us now. No one can keep us down. We found our voice again. Oh, oh, oh. No need for fear and shame. There's power in His name. Come on, let freedom reign. Let it be known that our God saves, our God reigns. We lift you up, up. Let it be known that that our God saves, our God reigns. We lift you up, up, let it be known that love has come, love has won. We lift you up, up, let it be known that our God saves, our God reigns. We lift you up, up, let it be known that love has come, love has won. We lift you up, 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 oh, let it be known, yeah. Let it be known, let it be known, yeah.
You are the one, the only one who's always faithful and true. Faithful and true. Nobody else compares, there is nobody like you. Nobody like you. Oh, and I can't stop thinking about how amazing your love is. Amazing your love is. I can't stop giving it out. I was made for this. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go, I'm reaching out for someone just like you do for me. You give your life for free. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go. You are the one, the only one who's always faithful and true. Faithful and true. Nobody else compares, there is nobody like you. Nobody like you. Oh, and I can't stop thinking about how amazing your love is. Amazing your love is. I can't stop giving it out. I was made for this. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go, I'm reaching out for someone just like you do for me. You give your life for free. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. I wanna love the way you love. I wanna see the way you see. I wanna give the way you give. Because the love that you've given to me. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go, I'm reaching out for someone just like you do for me. You give your life for free. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go, I'm reaching out for someone just like you do for me. You give your life for free. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go.
Great job, everyone. Go ahead and take a seat. All month, we're discovering some rules for life that will help us live with responsibility. Just like there are board games or sports, we're finding some really important rules for living too.
That's right. When we follow God, we live with responsibility, which is showing you can be trusted with what is expected of you.
Well, without further ado, I think it's time we sit back, relax, and see what the Bible has to say about responsibility. Check this out.
Come on. Come on. Ooh, okay, come on, ball. Come on. Oh, hi. My name is Erica, and I'm trying to get this metal ball over this bridge, around this magnetic thing, through the metal tubes, around the spiky yellow stuff, through the hoop, around in the maze, and in this orange thing to the very end. But so far, I'm stuck. Not here, not here, not here, not here, not even close to there, not here, not here, nope, 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 here. But will I give up? Of course not! If at first you don't succeed, try again. That's what I was taught. It's my responsibility. Responsibility is showing you can be trusted with what is expected. Let's do this. Okay, now I give up. I tried again. I still didn't succeed. I don't want to play this anymore. It's so hard. I don't want to do it if it's hard. I'm tired. My head hurts. I want to do something else. This can't be right. I shouldn't quit doing something just because it's hard. I'd never get anything done if I did that. Let's do this. Hold on. I can do it. Hold on. And complained about how hard it was. Actually, now that I think about it, the whining and complaining didn't really help at all. What did help was something we're learning about in today's story. That's something for you to anticipate. The story is about ants, so that's why it's funny. Let's do this.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verses 6 through 8.
King Solomon was young when he became ruler of Israel after his father David. One night, God spoke to him in a dream.
Ask for anything you want me to give you.
What? Solomon had just been given the greatest gift of all time. He could have asked for anything. Unlimited money, the power to defeat all of his enemies, or even to be the best-loved, longest-living king of all time. Instead, though, Solomon made a different ask.
Lord, you have now made me king, but I'm only a little child. I don't know how to carry out my duties, so give me a heart that understands. Then I can rule over your people. I can tell the difference between what is right and what is wrong.
Solomon asked for wisdom, and God gave it to him. In fact, Solomon became known as the wisest man to ever live. Over the course of his life, he shared many wise sayings that were later recorded in the book of Proverbs.
These sayings are to help people do what is just and fair, to help young people learn wisdom. Only fools refuse to listen and learn.
The wisdom recorded in Proverbs gives godly advice about nearly everything, from using words wisely to staying away from trouble. But the most famous passages talk about the value of hard work.
You people who don't want to work, think about the ant. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, it has no leader or ruler, but it stores up its food in summer. It gathers its food at harvest time.
When was the last time you paid attention to an ant, other than the one that you were going to squash on the kitchen floor? To better understand what Solomon means about work, well, I think it's time we take a closer look. Did you know that there are about 1 million ants on Earth for every single human? Yikes! My skin is crawling right now. But just look at how amazing these little guys are. Like Solomon said, nobody lays out a set of rules for them. Nobody offers them an allowance or more screen time if they finish their work. God made them in such an incredible way that they stick with it and get the job done. In fact, some ants can lift up to 50 times their own weight. If you were that strong, you could lift an entire car. And ants use that super strength to store up their food, just like we see in Proverbs. And ants also work smart. They leave a special trail of chemicals, called pheromones, that tells them where they've been so they don't get lost or repeat themselves. And ants are incredibly creative. They actually farm aphids in order to have a constant supply of the honeydew aphids release. And the ants' creativity doesn't stop there. In times of flooding, ants will even protect the queen by forming a lifeboat with their own bodies. Just like Solomon reminds us, Ants do whatever it takes to gather up the food they need and to protect their colony. They know how to get the job done, and that's with only about 250,000 brain cells. But you? God made you with 10 million brain cells. He's given you everything you need to work strong, smart, and creatively. And because God has given us so much, there's so much more we can do. In the New Testament, Luke records some of Jesus' words.
Much will be required of everyone who has been given much.
You are creative and strong. You have a brain that works like no one else's. You are determined. And most of all, you are created in God's image. That means that you can work hard at whatever it takes to show love to God and the people He's made. Sometimes that might look like helping raise funds to provide clean water for kids on the other side of the world. Sometimes that might look like cleaning your room before your mom has to remind you 5 times. Or working hard to help your little sister to build an epic Lego palace. Whatever your work, remember Solomon's wisdom.
You people who don't want to work, think about the ant. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, it has no leader or ruler, but it stores up its food in summer. It gathers its food at harvest time.
Be wise. Work hard. God has given you everything you need to follow through.
Gotcha. Look, I get it. Work is hard, but if we don't work, nothing will ever get done. Think about it. If the ant didn't work, he wouldn't have any food stored up for the winter. We actually need work. Plus, think about Jesus. He gave us an example for how to love people and serve others, and he always did it gladly, working with all his heart. When we work, we should do it with a good attitude. Like we're working for God. We shouldn't whine and complain every time someone asks us to do something that's hard or boring. In fact, we could choose to work hard even before someone asks. Think of work like it's a mission. When your mom or dad tells you to clean your room or something, don't go, "It's so hard." Instead say, "Let's do this." And then get the job done. You'll finish your work faster and you'll probably have a better time doing it too. So, here's the rule for life to remember today. Work hard. When you work, put your heart into it. It'll feel good to accomplish something. And when you play, you can put your heart into that too. Yes! Mission accomplished! See you next time.
Solomon really did have some wise words. It's true that we should always work hard and do our very best in every part of our lives. You see, God made us to do good things. When we show love to the world around us, we also show others what God is like. And that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Let's remember this rule for life. Work hard.
I know sometimes we're tempted to take things kind of easy. Sometimes we just don't want to do the work. Or like homework, I never want to do my homework, Jesse.
Yeah, it's tough.
Well, when you feel that way, think about Jesus. Think about what he chose to do for us. He knew what he came to do here on earth. His mission was to give life for us. Jesus lived a perfect life so that he completed his mission for you and for me.
So don't wait for someone to tell you to do something. Make the wise choice. Look around you, see what needs to be done, and do it. Work hard and always give your very best effort.
This goes right along with our memory verse for the month, Jesse. Here's what it says. Suppose you can be trusted with something very little. Then you can also be trusted with something very large. Luke 16:10a. Let's talk to God and ask him to help us with this today. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to work hard. When we work hard, we get to show people just how incredibly loving you are. We get to do everything that you ask us to do and continue to do it as the best as we can. Give us the strength as we continue to go and do the things that you call us to do. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Today has been a great day, and I'm so glad you were here to be with us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
What do you have? No, I'm not talking about the money you have in your piggy bank, or how full your closet is, or even whether you own the latest gaming system. I'm talking about the things that each of you has been given by a generous God who loves you more than you could imagine. God has given you time that you can waste, or time that you can use wisely. Sure, I can help for an hour. Be right there. God has given you words you can use to hurt someone. I cannot believe you! Or to make someone stay. Way to go, you rocked it! God has given you unique talents and abilities, gifts you can ignore, or gifts that you can grow. Yes, God has trusted you with so much, and He's with you every step of the way to help you use it wisely. When you show that you truly can be trusted with what is expected of you, others can see God at work in you. And that's why responsibility is an amazing way to worship God with your life. Because worship is about more than just singing loud. It's all about living loud.